Hello everyone! In today's video I'm going to be sharing my experience at the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo that was held last month in Williston, Florida. I'll be showing some of the awesome vehicles, vendors, racing, trails, and general RC goodness from this event. There were so many amazing builds and great people, and I'm very excited to be able to share my experience with all of you. So sit back and enjoy what has to be one of the greatest scale truck events out there. The Ultimate Scale Truck Expo is unique, as it's not a competition, but rather more of a social gathering of scale truck enthusiasts and vendors who come together to show off their work, demonstrate the latest products, and drive on what have to be some of the best scale trails on the planet. The Cedar Lakes Woods and Gardens provide a pretty much perfect venue for this type of event. Plenty of room and plenty of awesome scenery.
It's 10 degrees.
There are events scheduled throughout the 3 days that the expo takes place, one of those being the GCM Scale Truck Gallery. As you can see, there's a ton of jaw-dropping vehicles on display. All scale trucks are welcome, but the super high-detailed dollhouse rigs are really what this event is all about, making trucks that look and perform just like the real thing. After drooling over those amazing builds, we hit the trails. Just like with the trucks earlier, I think the trails speak for themselves. Lots of details and so many cool little Easter eggs and buildings, all around for miles and miles of trails. These trails are specifically designed for small tire ultra scale trucks. Though of course no shame in skipping an obstacle or using the hand of God. No one breathing down your back with a scorecard, just a bunch of RC nerds enjoying the trails. There are a few competitive events, such as the vintage buggy and monster truck races. Sled pulling and mud drags also took place, though I did not get around to filming them as there's just so many awesome things going on. I highly recommend checking out some other videos made by other attendees. I'll put a few links below in the description.
Absolutely nothing. High fives, I'll give him a hug. You guys ready? Get set. Go. Really, with whistles already. Seconds remaining. Wes taking the shortcut. 10 seconds. Keep it clean, Kevin.
Dana's got room to run a clean lap.
I got out onto the trails again on Saturday, and I can't say enough just how impressed I am with these trails. Again, there are miles and miles of handcrafted trails just like what you're seeing here. Although I would have loved to hit all the trails, there just wasn't time. All the ones I went on were great, though I think the one that really stood out was Trail 8, which was inspired by the game's spin tires. With all the buildings and little details, it sort of reminds me of one of those outdoor garden railways some of you might be familiar with, except you can drive trucks around it. In addition to some of the events held throughout the weekend, classes are also available on topics such as weathering, styrene building, and electronics. Another thing that I think is really cool about this event. One of Sunday's events included the Basher Park, complete with an over 7-foot, nearly vertical ramp.
On your mark, get set, go! All right, red truck. Three ready, set, go!
One of the things new at the 2020 USTE was the 1/14th scale Big Rig Showdown. So many awesome looking trucks on display. I might have to build one of these someday. They're just so cool, especially with the sound, smoke, and simulated engine vibration. I had been doing a lot of driving with the Jeep, so I thought I'd do a little driving with the MST CMX Bronco before the day came to an end. It's an awesome little truck that I'm looking forward to adding a ton of scale details to. I just need to find the time. This was an all-around awesome event. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to top the already amazing event that they had hosted last year. I had a great time, which was made even better by all of you who I had the opportunity to meet. I was amazed by how many people stopped by the booth, said they watched this channel, talked about Make It RC products they use, and even said that they heard about this event from me. I'm really amazed by the camaraderie and talent of this community, and I've come back from this event more inspired and motivated than ever. Thank you to everyone who I had the opportunity to interact with, and I'm looking forward to returning next year. Before I end this video, I want to show you this awesome scale engine by Scale Designs by Mr. Comedy. USTE does a ton of giveaways at the end of each day, and this is an item that I got. As both a fan of 3D printing and RC, I'm extremely impressed with the detail and was super excited to win this. I was thinking about getting a RC 4-wheel drive chassis and Toyota 4Runner body just so I could use this engine cover and do a super scale build, but the cost of an RC 4-wheel drive based build is way out of my budget. Hopefully one of these days I'll have the means to do it, but for now it'll look great on the shelf until I come up with some use for it. I guess with that said, now's as good of a time as any to tell you that if you enjoy this content and want access to extra perks, including early video releases and STL files, you can become a member on Patreon. The link is in the description. Anyways, would I recommend USTE? Yes, definitely. And everyone I've talked to has said that they had a great time and want to return again next year. I want to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.